Hello and welcome to week 3 of LIBS 301. This week we'll be looking at acknowledging. So for this week, we have for required materials to look through, we have the week 3 instructor video. So this video you are watching now, the APA 7th in Minutes, the scholarly journals articles video, the websites video, as well as the books video. We also have the how to avoid plagiarism in 5 easy steps video. For supplemental or non-required materials, we have the APA referencing made easy, everything you need to know about APA 7th. We have plagiarism and 6 different types of plagiarism to avoid, as well as the how to avoid plagiarism in academic writing. So all 3 of those videos are underneath the supplemental materials tab. And for this week, our assignment is the APA Citations quiz. We also have the APA style guide. So if you have the physical book, you can look through these topics there, but we do have the links on their own PDF document. So please go in and look at these. They're all hyperlinked as well as having where in the book they are located. So we have plagiarism, the basic principles of the reference list entries, elements of a reference list, missing reference information, reference examples, so looking at journal articles, up-to-date articles, as well as government reports, and then also looking at DUIs and URLs. So please look through these. If you have questions, please reach out. I know that APA style is often really confusing as you start jumping into it. Please note though, the more you work with it, the easier it will get. So hopefully by the end of the semester, you'll be a little bit more confident, and next semester you'll go, I've got this, I know what I'm doing. And I'm always a resource if and when you guys need assistance. So this week's information literacy concept is the step of acknowledge. So we are jumping all the way to the end of our steps, but I think it's really important to have a good understanding of citations, how to create them, and what you're looking for before you jump into the research process, so you know how to kind of create those citations and aren't scrambling at the end. So the step of acknowledge is crediting the original source of information. And you're going to be doing this in 2 different ways. So first is your reference page at the end of your paper, and then you have in-text citations. So we're really focusing at the end of the paper citations, and a little bit later on in the course, we'll be looking at in-text citations. So APA citations. So why do we cite our sources? So first, it makes your work more credible. It gives you kind of that oomph that you're saying, I'm not just kind of making this stuff up. I have other people who are saying this as well. This is also going to tell your readers where you found your information. It allows them to go back, they can learn more, and they can really do this by starting with your sources. It also gives credit to the people whose words and ideas you're using and basing and kind of building your arguments off of. And finally, it protects you from plagiarizing. It gives the credit where credit is due, and you aren't stealing anyone else's ideas or work. So what is plagiarism? So plagiarism and what kind of falls under it. So there's really 4 major areas of plagiarism. So first is direct plagiarism. And this is one that we think of most often, and that's just a word-for-word transcription of someone's work without attributions or quotation marks. It is saying I'm basically copying and pasting and putting it into my own paper without giving anyone any credit. So that's kind of the most severe version of plagiarism and the one that we tend to think of. We also have self-plagiarism. So this is using your own previous work or mixing parts of your previous work into your current work. So it's really important if you are using an idea or a topic that you used before that you're making either significant changes or you're citing yourself correctly. And this gets a little bit fuzzy. So if you have questions, please reach out to me about self-plagiarism. Now, mosaic plagiarism is one that we kind of do on accident, but it's very common. And this is where you're borrowing phrases from a source either without quotation marks or you're using synonyms while keeping the same general structure and meaning of the original work. And you're kind of piecemealing it together. So oftentimes this will be when we're summarizing or paraphrasing. So we're reading an article and then we're typing up our paper and we're changing just a word here or there, kind of changing things a little bit around, but really it's the same idea and the same structure. So the best way to avoid this style of plagiarism is to read your article or information, put it away, don't look at it, and then write the information or your argument that you would like to make off of that information. Again, always make sure you are citing those sources, and we'll talk about this more with the in-text citations. And then our final type of plagiarism is truly the accidental plagiarism. It's either forgetting to cite a source or misquoting a source, not giving the correct citation. These ones, please watch out for and make sure you're taking really good notes as you go through your research and writing process so you aren't falling into this style of plagiarism. So DOI numbers. I did want to touch base on DOI numbers. I have you guys watch the APA citation videos because they will explain this much better than I can. But I did want to touch on DOI numbers because these are probably one of the most common places that we trip up on. So what is a DOI number? So a digital object identifier, commonly shortened to DOI, was invented to give each electronic or digital item a unique and persistent identifier. But please note that not every article has a DOI number. These really came to be a lot more popular in about 2010 or so. So if it is an older article, it won't have a DOI number, but most, if not all, modern articles and kind of up-to-date current articles will have DOI numbers. So this is like ISBN number. It's that identifier just for that article. So what does this look like? So all DOIs will start with the number 10 followed by a period and then the identifying information of the source. So for example, it's 10.1515 backslash and then the article information. So it will give pieces of information about the journal it's in, the date it was published, the volume issue, things like that is what that following number looks like. But it's always going to start with a 10, a period, and then information behind it. So in a citation, DOIs are formatted by typing in https://doi.org/ the 10 dot, and that's your DOI number. That's how you'll want to format it when you're doing your reference page citation. Now, I do want to say, watch out for DOIs with university information. So some databases add this in, so you'll need to remove the extra information. And what this looks like is right before the DOI, so in between the HTTPS and the DOI.org, it'll have briarcliff.edu. That just needs to be removed. And as you guys are working through your assignments, I will be making note and kind of making corrections of DOI numbers, so kind of keep that in mind. I don't, though, take points away by incorrectly formatting DOIs, but I will take points away if you are not adding in DOIs. So make sure you're finding your DOI number and adding that in, and I can help you with your formatting as we go through. So for this week, for our required materials to look through, we have this week's instructor video. We have our 3 APA 7th in minutes videos, so about scholarly journal articles, websites, and books, as well as the How to Avoid Plagiarism in 5 Easy Steps video. We also have some supplemental videos you guys can look through, which is the APA Referencing Made Easy, the plagiarism of 6 different types of plagiarism to avoid, and how to avoid plagiarism in academic writing. Also, we do have the APA style guide that you guys need to look through, and those pieces of information are plagiarism, the basic principles of the reference list entries, elements of your reference list, missing reference information, your reference examples of journal articles, up-to-date articles, and government reports, and then information on DOIs and URLs. For this week, we only have one assignment due, which is the APA citation quiz. You do get 2 attempts. It has unlimited time and is open book. It is due on Thursday, and if you guys have questions or issues as you are working through this quiz, please reach out to me. And as always, if you have questions about just the information in general, reach out and I'm more than happy to talk with you. Have a great week and good luck on your quizzes.